All right, you hear that music? That means we are back. It's the Baby Faces podcast on iHeartRadio, the official pro wrestling podcast of iHeartRadio Louisville, powered by Kentuckiana's #1 for country, 97.5 WAMZ. That's where you'll be able to find me here in the Louisville area every Saturday and Sunday. Also find me daily, powered by News Radio 840 WHAS. Be sure to check me out on the Terry Miner Show from 3 to 6 every single day. Of course, I like to get together with some buddies every now and then, and we talk a little bit of wrestling. This is going to be our first actual Baby Faces episode of this year. We've had a couple interviews leading up to this. You can go back and check out our Jade Cargill interview, WWE Women's Champion. Also, new NXT call-up Lash Legend was just on a few weeks before that. If you're watching this on YouTube or Instagram, just give us a like and subscribe. You can also find us on social media at Babyfaces Pod on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Go check out some of the cool content that we had, because WWE is going to be coming to the KFC Yum Center here in Louisville next month, February 27th. So get your tickets and get ready for the show by listening to the Baby Faces. Bringing back a familiar face to kick off our first ever preview episode on 2026. Our guy Chuckacious might as well be an honorary Babyface member at this time. Chuck, how you doing?
I think so. Dude, it's going great, dude. I'm ready for Royal Rumble. I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to talk the biz. And let's get it going, dude. Thank you for having me.
Dude, not a problem. We always love having you come on. As the kids say, and everyone says nowadays, you know ball. Like, you know what's going on in the world of wrestling.
I'm kind of like a head writer of some sort. So
might as well be. I didn't see you on Unreal, though. I don't know what was going on with all that.
We had this conversation. I'm Mr. Anti-kayfabe, man. I'd say, get those cameras out of my face. Get them out of here. I was the only one that stood up to them.
Yeah, it's you're not getting me Netflix. I keep it original.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, the last time that we talked, it was before the holidays. I wasn't even a married man yet. And I've noticed that I've been pimping that a lot lately, especially like on the when I've been talking to like Jade or Lash. I make sure to let them know that I'm married, because that's a cheap pop. Like you're obviously going to get over quickly if you say that kind of stuff.
Is that kind of like cheap pop, putting over the home team, cheap pop, yeah. Now it's the cheap pop for you is like, hey, I'm married. Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, that's that way they know I'm not an online internet loser. I actually have a life outside of wrestling, or at least it gives them the illusion that I talk to the opposite sex. So
exactly,
ladies that do listen to the show, the 2% that listen to the show, candy store is closed. You're gonna have to take that up with my wife. So I mean, we talked about how was everything with your holidays? Is everything all good? You look like you're wearing a jacket, which means it's cold where you are. Where are you at right now?
Yeah, dude. We were, I don't know when this comes out, but you guys had that Arctic storm that came through, and we avoided it down in Florida.
Oh, yeah.
And we got a little too cocky, and then boom, we got about 3 days of warm weather, and now it's freezing. It's like in the 50s. It's like the 50s.
Though. The 50s.
It's the 50s.
God, I am looking forward to 50-degree weather.
Dude, I look cool right here, but like waist down, my toes are like rubbing against each other, trying to stay warm. I'm trying to keep my hands warm. Dude, it's brutal. I got to hunker down and see if I can make it through the winter.
Oh Lord. Well, at least you're not dealing with like eight inches of snow is what we're dealing here. Almost sub-zero temperatures. Like there's going to be snow on the ground at least until late next week, until it gets above freezing. And I don't hate this. I don't hate the cold. I don't hate the snow. I really, really hate when it's humid. I hate when it's hot outside, because I just cannot get comfortable. It's when it snows and we have storms like this is where I'm like, I'm wishing for warm weather again. But I know here in a couple months, when it's June, I'm going to hate my life, because I'm just going to be sweating miserably. I'm going to be walking around the station wanting to be shirtless so bad. I hate it, dude.
Bro, well, this sounds like Florida, and that's what we did, dude. We would walk outside and start sweating, and you just you get used to it. I can't handle cold, and I'm so glad WWE booked Elimination Chamber in Chicago in the dead of winter. And dude, I don't know how to make it through that.
Yeah, that's going to be tough. It's a windy city for a reason. I actually spent about a week now, about 3-4 days in Fort Myers for a little mini moon once me and the wife got married. Yeah. That was the first time I've ever been to Florida when it's not June and it's not sweltering, and
Yeah.
perfect place to be in December.
Based on when you guys got married and did the honeymoon, you lucked out because it was still like it wasn't cold, it wasn't like super hot. It was like nice Florida weather, and you got some nice sunsets out there too. You went at the perfect time.
It was awesome. The water was freezing cold to get in, but it was still enough to where it was warm outside. And I'm like, I'm gonna go cool off and get in the water for a second, then right back up to the lawn chair.
Yeah, hey dude, you're living the life that weekend.
So you already mentioned it. We're here talking about WWE. It's one of our favorite hobbies. You can't. It's so real to us. Damn it. We have. We're on the official road to WrestleMania here coming up this Saturday, the Royal Rumble. It's going to be a little bit different. It's overseas in Saudi Arabia, as we were texting a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Literally in a parking lot that the Saudis built just out of nowhere. Everything got fully complete. Let's start with what you think about so far the setup. I don't know if you've seen any of the pictures so far of it being finished. What do you think about the Royal Rumble being in Saudi Arabia?
I knew this is what they were doing because they did it for the UFC before. They kind of find a piece of land, do a makeshift stadium, and I'm a little concerned. They're hyping it up, and I'm not believing any sort of the marketing and what they're selling me. I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid because I think it's a smaller venue. It's going to be the typical Saudi vibe. You can like their fans, not like their fans. I'm very different. To me, it always has like a house show vibe. Mm-hmm. And I'm sticking to my guns. I feel like it's going to be another just house show. It's in a parking lot. I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid. It's going to be just like the Super Show and the Greatest Royal Rumble and Crown Jewel. It's just going to be like another one of those. And I would rather it be anywhere else.
And I think that's interesting that you say, because they do have house show vibes. It's weird every time you watch one of these shows in Saudi Arabia, like the first 9 rows are like just Saudi princes and Saudi kings and people in the, and they're like they're not in those cool little WWE chairs. They're literally in thrones. And
they're like couches. I'm like, awesome. Like I'm like slinging dudes around, like breaking my neck, and then I look over at the front row expecting like green shirt guy and everyone losing their mind, and it's like a bunch of like sultans and couches waiting on like bottle service and all that stuff, food, and I'm just like, that would take me right out of it. But you gotta, the amount of money they spend for those shows, you can't say no. So I'm still not a fan though.
Yeah, me either. And it has nothing to do with, whatever politics that you want to get into about Saudi Arabia. Just WWE has always just felt home for me. And just when it's in another country, it doesn't feel like it's for us. It just feels like we're just doing this to appease whatever contract that we have with the Saudis. And whatever, go ahead and get your money. I will go ahead and say off the base of what you just said that, I mean, they have like cutouts of Roman Reigns' hand with like the number 1. They have like so a lot of people have been speculating that they're going to go big, and I probably will assure that they're going to go big. They definitely are rich. There's going to be a lot of money. There's going to be a presentation feel to this, which is going to make it feel big. So that's kind of the half glass full that I'm looking at. Is just, it is going to be produced like crazy. It's going to be a spectacle of however you want to view it. They're going to make this big, because this is, you talked about, they've done the greatest Royal Rumble or whatever that was a couple years ago. I think, wasn't Shane McMahon a part of that or something? Like I can't remember. It was,
dude, they had some sort of tournament for the greatest wrestler in the world. I think it was legitimately just, that's what it was called. And that's when he came in the main event and just put himself in the main event after the Miz hurt, knocked someone out. Some of the shows are wild. Braun Strowman still has some sort of tournament thing that he's still in.
What it was, Braun Strowman won the greatest Royal Rumble, and Shane McMahon won the best in the world Royal Rumble.
Best in the world tournament,
Lord, that's a sight to behold, and that's the kind of stuff that you can expect.
Don't forget about all the Hunter, Undertaker, Kane, Shawn Michaels, Goldberg matches they've thrown in there.
Yeah, because that's a risky thing to do anyways when going over to a place like that, is show your dark magic characters in front of the Saudi princes. I'm surprised no one's gotten beheaded from that, but you know how it is. And this is time actually doing one of their main staple shows. This is the Royal Rumble. It's not the gimmick. It's not Crown Prince with the belt that's as big as a wrestler's body. This is an actual Royal Rumble, and it's going to have major ramifications going towards WrestleMania. And we should mention WrestleMania is going to be there next year.
Yeah, and this is not to go off on a tangent or a rumor or whatever, but it's kind of going in line with how they've been going back there. Somebody, I don't know if they just pulled out their ass, if there's rumors, but that if the WWE is not sold to the Saudis want to buy WrestleMania. Ooh. And let that be something they do there. And then the WWE is going to have to get another thing over as WrestleMania 2.0, WrestlePalooza. Yeah, so I don't know if that's legitimate, but I have heard things about the Saudis just like, we'll dump 250 mil every year to have it here.
Wow. That is breaking, not even breaking news. It's just reckless speculation that you only get right here on the Faces podcast. Here
so if it happens, because the Saudi rumors of being sold haven't gone away, the amount of money they spent, them wanting those things, them transitioning from just Crown Jewel to Elimination Chamber, now or Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, they might just try to buy the rights to WrestleMania. And we'll never get to go to another WrestleMania again.
That would be interesting and terrible. I'm going to try my hardest to try to make Vegas this year, because it's going to be the last time that we have Royal Rumble, at least for or the Mania for at least another year. And then who knows, that WWE is no stranger to pulling the rug out from a city, just to go give it back to the Saudis the very next year, or go back to give it to its highest bidder like they did in Vegas this year.
Yeah, I'm really concerned about that when it comes to the work I do with them and traveling. And I was like, all right, now I'm in there, and now it's like every big event is going to be overseas. There's France shows, there's Clash of the Castle, things are, in France, Germany, Puerto Rico. And I'm like, dude, am I going to be able to go to any events eventually that don't involve like going overseas?
Yeah, that's a rough one. I'm sitting here thinking like that's why I feel like I want to try so hard to make this Elimination Chamber show, because that's one of the first one that we had back here in a while. Yeah. And to your credit, we were just texting the other day, and we like to say that we're in the loop of WWE, but you and I had no idea that they were doing a Saturday night's main event this past weekend. I
opened up Instagram and it was like, it was AJ Styles Nakamura.
Yeah.
And I was like, is this an old clip? And it's like 30 seconds ago, live on Peacock. And I was like, dude, there's a show going on that I had zero clue about.
Yeah, usually I try to hype that one up because, Peacock's the last like real streaming device that you can get everything on.
Yeah.
We're going to ESPN for everything official. That's where Royal Rumble is going to be on. That's where WrestleMania is going to be on. And like I said, we're kicking off the road to WrestleMania, and it's been sort of a weird last couple years of WWE with booking, storytelling, obviously the money greed, the ticket prices, and some of the storylines and wrestling has been more or less thrown to by the wayside. And I'm not going to say anything towards these competitors. All these men and women really work their ass off when they're in the ring, and they sacrifice a lot for our entertainment. There just hasn't been anything too exciting to really like attach yourself to. Not since WrestleMania 40, not since you had the whole end game and Cody finally finishing his story, and then we talked about it before with the last thing I think that they can hold on to was probably The Rock and the final boss character, and that eventually ended up getting killed, then rebooted, then killed again once Rock never showed up after the Elimination Chamber last year. So it just let everybody in. We'll just book this match, and it's usually announced on Twitter or social media that night, and there's no build because none of the wrestlers are there to promote it. It's not like Bloodline where every week someone's threaded into the whole show.
Yeah.
where someone comes out and you feel like, oh shit, this is serious. It's just big stars and big matches, just for the sake of big stars and big matches, which, you know, to their credit, congratulations for being big stars. Thank you for working your ass off. But just as a viewer that's trying to watch that, wrestling usually gets you captivated with stories and gives you a reason why these people are fighting. We just haven't had that recently.
No, and I watched Raw last night, and like you said, there's no like real gravity to any of the situations besides like CM Punk, you know, casually telling Finn that, hey, if you want my title, you have to, you know, join the Royal Rumble. Cool. That came and went in like 10 seconds. You know, the Vision, I guess, you know, Braun Breaker was suspended, and they allowed him to come back for the Royal Rumble. And I thought, okay, Adam Pearce is like, waiting and waiting. He's going to say Braun Breaker has to come in first. And he has to go through the whole thing like they do sometimes, like when Vince or Triple H did it to Roman. And I thought it was going to be like that hook. No, he's just like, all right, you're back in at the Royal Rumble. And I was like, okay. There's no difference between him doing that as like a punishment or a prize. There was no like real like, you know, meat to it. And that's how it is for a lot of people. And then they're like, hey, the Royal Rumble's completely full. Dude, I had no clue like who's in, who's out, who's fighting to get in, who's dying to get in, it's just happening. Like, it's one of those years, it's just happening.
Yeah. And gone are the days where you'd show people in the back, they're spinning the thing where it's got their entry in it and they pick that out, or someone's battling in a 4-way to see who gets the number 30 draw, or just Royal Rumble qualifiers. I guess all you got to do is just announce on Twitter, I'm going in the Royal Rumble. So like,
when Adam Pearce was like, Finn was mad that he couldn't get in. That's like, I guess something that's going to happen off the internet in the next 4 days on Finn Balor getting in. But he's like, no, we're full. Like, we're full. And yeah, do you just announce, is it just full out of nowhere now? Like you said, there's no, you know, raffle thing, the spinning thing, tournaments. It's just people are in, it's full. Sorry. I have no clue who's in, who's out. The suspense, if somebody has to run the gauntlet, you know, those years where like, all right, you know, you could be in it, but we're going to tell you what spot you're going to be in. And it's like someone gets a favorable one, someone gets screwed. There's none of that. And then when it comes to the females, they're in the same situation. A lot of people are like, who's going after Stephanie Valkyrie? Like, has there been promos about that? Who's going after the other female champion, Jade, which is Jordan Grace, I guess, but I don't even know if that's related to the Royal Rumble right now. I like that might just be a solo storyline. So I'm always a fan of the match regardless. You can put it in a vacuum, press play. I'm going to enjoy myself. But when it comes to the buildup of this one, part of it's Saudi. I have spoken to people about that it's not like, hey, everyone, let's start traveling to Baltimore. Hey, everyone, let's start traveling to Dallas and get this Royal Rumble thing going. It's like, oh, it's in Saudi. Like, no one's traveling there. Like, there's no like, oh, all right, cool. Now we can go. So now it's just like, all right, let's just get ready for 2 p.m. on Saturday and watch it on, you know, ESPN or Peacock, whatever it's on this time. So yeah, I think also maybe they're mailing it in. They're like, we can't do much because we don't, our real fans can't go to the show.
Yeah, that's an interesting take, is how many people, because I've always thought about it, like what Americans are traveling over there to the show. I know that there's a lot of heat from, you know, just a lot of online marks that don't like the Saudi deal anyways.
Yeah.
They probably won't even make the trip. I could care less about them.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about the real wrestling fans that want to go and really want to see their favorite superstars that have never been to an event. But it's going to be held for the royal families over there. So let's just go ahead and talk about it. Only 4 matches announced so far. The 2 friends of the show, both Jordan Grace and Jade Cargill, not advertised yet, but there seems to be a lot of heat going for them.
Yeah.
So I'll just go ahead and read off of what I think we'll go ahead and start it. And I imagine going to end at the Royal Rumble. So we'll get to all of our fun props and stuff there. We'll
Yes.
start out with AJ Styles versus Gunther. And if anything, this has a little bit of stakes to it because AJ Styles loses, it's going to be his last match. You can call this retirement match. It seems to be leaning that that's where they're going to want to go. They're trying to re-image Gunther into killer. They're trying to, I mean, he should have been already built up mega status years ago, but for some reason has also fallen by the wayside. And it's just taken him a lot to get back up. Him losing to Jay at WrestleMania last year killed a lot, but I also him ever losing the title to Sami Zayn at WrestleMania 40 a couple years ago was also a very bad.
That sucked too. It's like, hey, you're the most dominant wrestler since Brock Lesnar, but you're gonna lose to Sami Zayn and Jey Uso. How do you like that at WrestleMania? They're gonna end both your streaks.
I'm a Gunther fan, so I hate to see that happen. I was very much pleased with the result in him retiring John Cena. John Cena also seems pleased with it, and that's a hand-picked Cena thing to do. Yeah. But he's going up against AJ Styles, who hasn't really had the retirement tour that John Cena has, but he also did come out and say not too long ago that I will not be signing another WWE contract. This will be my last year wrestling. Do you think this is where AJ Styles loses? Does he go out in Saudi Arabia in a parking lot at the Royal Rumble? Does he get one more match in TNA somehow? Does he go out in WrestleMania? What's your feeling around this match?
So this match is like the speculation main event for me. Like, this is what Royal Rumble is like. The big thing for me is because I've been planting my flag. I've been telling it to everyone. AJ Styles is not going to retire in a parking lot full of Saudi fans. Like, it's not going to happen. But then the vibe I've been getting with, like, I don't know if I'm getting worked. I don't know if this is WWE Unreal where Shinsuke Nakamura made that tweet where he's like, hey, my really good friend's going to be retiring this weekend, blah, blah, blah. And everyone's like, did he just leak out that, and then there's other people like, oh, yeah, I've heard that his contract kind of lines up with the Royal Rumble. So I've been hearing that, and I'm getting worried that it could happen. And he's super humble, and he's like, some people are saying that if you look at the data, he's already had a bunch of his like retirement matches. He wore his retro outfit, his TNA outfit with John Cena. He went back to France. He's had this match and that match. The CM Punk one, but the CM Punk one on Monday Night Raw, that ended dirty. That wasn't clean. And now the crowd was super hyped. They're red hot. After seeing that promo between them, I want AJ Styles, CM Punk, WrestleMania. He can retire there.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, because that vibe, that crowd was electric. You could feel like, okay, this is a retirement like vibe thing. And if he could beat Gunther, which is big, and then, but they're probably just going to like run it into Elimination Chamber and then give Roman a big match or whatever. But I would love for AJ Styles. I'm going to stick to my guns. Well, if he does retire, it's going to be a Ric Flair one, and he's going to go back to TNA for a little bit and do a little bit there. Or he's just going to be like, oh, I'm retired. And then Adam Pearce is going to be like, you know what? AJ got screwed. He's not going to stay retired. I want him to come back to have one fair match, and they're going to bring it back. I think they'll do like a retirement storyline. Whatever happens, I don't think AJ Styles is truly retiring at Royal Rumble.
Yeah, that's interesting. I never thought about it that way. Like he loses the match and then he comes out the next Raw. He's going to say his goodbye. Then somebody comes in and, kind of saves it, ignites his fire for a couple more months. And it's like,
that hasn't happened in a while. Like Vince has done that. I heard John Cena like got fired like legitimately during like a storyline. And then he came back a few weeks later. There's been those before where like people got fired, retired, but it's completely storyline and they come back. Hasn't really happened in a while. So maybe this, I know he's already done a fake retirement speech before, AJ Styles.
Yeah.
But you know what? Let's just do it over again. Yeah. Let's just work everyone again.
Yeah, no, I agree. So you got Gunther winning this match or AJ?
Gunther
Gunther.
with a fake retirement mixed in.
I got you, Gunther. Maybe you can. I don't know. You could sprinkle in Shinsuke. What's he doing? Maybe he can come in and beat Gunther. I have no clue. They can keep that art going for whoever knows.
Yeah,
but
yeah. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Gunther with AJ Styles retiring, coming back, real match, whatever.
Well, a lot of speculation leading up to this match was, all right, ever since Gunther beat John Cena, and then he's starting to do this Legend Killer Tour thing, the next one up for him has to be AJ Styles. But on the other side, you're looking at, we're only 2 months into January. Is this how AJ Styles is going to be? So you want to keep Gunther still strong, off of beating John Cena. But I don't know. Maybe it's like a mercy play from the GM where they come in and say, no, you're not going to retire. Bring back The Rock. No, you're not retiring unless I say so, or something. I don't know. Something
like that. I think that's what's going to happen. Like he'll lose, and it could be dirty, but he still loses, and then he gets we're not going to let that happen. And that's what I'm putting my money on. We're putting real money on it, Gunther wins, AJ false retires, comes back to something.
We're looking forward to seeing that. It's probably something that opens a show. I'm just reading all this off of Wikipedia. So it usually, when Billy gets on here and does it with me, he does the same thing. This is just what we're projecting.
Yeah.
Very next match moving on is we got the undisputed WWE Championship. Drew McIntyre, just fresh off of winning it from Cody Rhodes a couple weeks ago, finally gets to carry the championship in front of fans, finally gets to have his heel arc, because he's on one of the hottest streaks of his life with his character. So it's a good call for him to have the championship. And he's going against the biggest underdog ever, Sami Zayn. No matter what, we keep getting Sami Zayn shoved down our throats here.
Yeah.
So what do you like in this match? I'll let you have the floor first.
I'm really worried because we're both in the same boat where it's like, keep the belts and cameras away from Sami at all costs. And there's a lot of us. This isn't just, Chuckacious being a hit. There's a lot. I think he needs to be rebooted big time, because this is just standard Sami Zayn 2016, 2017, 2020. It's the same thing. But he has a match now for the title. He's in Saudi. Are they gonna? They've screwed Drew so many times that I would not be surprised. And then if I have to go into WrestleMania with Sami Zayn as the freaking champ and deal with these promos, and I was the underdog, and blah blah blah, I'm gonna hate it. I'm a giant Drew mark. He has to keep it. He looks like $1 million. The crowd loves him if he's a heel or a face. You got to keep it on. Sami can lose there, and everyone will still be happy. They'll be sad, but they'll still cheer him on, on the way out. Keep it on Drew and do a mega match with someone. I'm going Drew.
Yeah, have Drew completely kick his ass in front of the Saudis, in front of the people that really enjoy him. And I'm not really a Sami Zayn character guy. I'm not gonna speak to his actual person. However, just his character on WWE television doesn't really hook me. I would like to, when this is coming from a 30-year-old fat out of shape guy, would like to see you look a little bit more like presentable on TV. The hair and the beard, he looks like a taxi cab driver. The jacket that he wears out to the ring, I don't know why he wears, and it's not like a cool WWE jacket. It's just like a jacket that says Sami Zayn. It's not like ring gear, like cool looking.
Yeah, it's like a protester army jacket, and it's like, yeah, we get it, Sami. Like, we get it.
You're one of us, Sami. We get it.
Remember when he was doing the conspiracy theory where he did have that jacket on, but then he had like the Fidel Castro hat on?
I loved that. That was as most interesting as Sami Zayn has ever been to me, is when he was doing that stuff.
Yeah, that was fun because it's like, okay, there's a character. You're being a little conspiracy theory, ish. I was vibing with that. That was fun. When he was in the Bloodline, being super goofy white guy, and he was photoshopping himself, bad Photoshop, into family photos. I thought that was hilarious. But then he goes right back to the world, politics, and then Saudi and Syria and underdog. And when it's like that, dude, it's the worst thing on TV.
Yeah, I agree. And it looks like we both have Drew McIntyre here in this situation. I think Drew McIntyre retains. Got to give him some momentum going into WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But you do have to look out for. He's been screwed several times.
Yeah.
They're
Big
not
time.
shy about it because they've done it in his hometown several of times.
They've done that. They've done it at Manias. I'm still not over him having to win his first big title in a freaking warehouse during COVID, with no crowd. Like, he's never gotten his like 2020 Royal Rumble lead into the giant. I know he did win his title recently. He needs a Mania match that's gigantic and he wins. That's what he needs.
Yeah, Drew McIntyre is one of the few guys in wrestling left that look good on a marquee. Like when you see a wrestler that's promoting a show, you look at a bitch like him, and then he's just like, all right, I want to see that he's a Titan. I want to see this guy battle.
100%. 100%.
Be interesting, and he looks good with the title too. So
he does,
and he's also very nice. He's came on the show before, and anybody that I've ever talked to that's interacted with him is really, really cool. He plays such an asshole role, great to a T.
Yeah,
but from what I understand, couldn't be a more nicer person.
Oh yeah, he's the best. I love him.
So we'll switch over to the Women's Royal Rumble. This is where we have a little bit fun on this show.
Yes.
Chuck, usually what we like to do is when me and Billy get on here and we talk about previews, we talk about our Iron Men and Iron Women in the match, who's probably going to have like the Kane or Roman Reigns type of, lengthy.
Yeah.
Oh my God. When you're starting to think half an hour through the match, this person really has a shot. They've been killing it. So you have your Iron Women. Will give me your final four and then your ultimate winner of the Women's Royal Rumble match.
Dude. All right. So start me off with the first one.
The Iron Woman of this match. So somebody that's going to come in and kind of control the pace, either from bell to bell, or they'll come in somewhere around 8 and then stick to like the final 4. But they'll probably have the most eliminations. They'll be the one to really watch out for. That may not win it, but will still be like, all right, it's a real show out for them.
It's okay. I don't know if I can put my finger on an exact one. I'm going to say that the Iron Woman is going to be someone from NXT.
Mm-hmm.
Sol Roca.
Interesting, right?
Yeah. I think they're going to try to put or some sort of like person that's like hybrid that does both or just came up. I think they're going to try to put one of the girls over that just like, look what she freaking did. This could be the next big thing. Someone like Sol Roca, who they're super big on, just throwing 6 girls over, lasting an hour, doing a spot. I'm thinking someone young to get them really over is going to be, but they don't win. That's what's going to. So I'm saying someone young, maybe Sol Roca.
That's that was my second person to go with, and my first one was going to be Raquel, because obviously you talk about looking good on a marquee, looking like a star. Mm-hmm. She's been in WWE's crosshairs for the next big thing for a while now.
Yeah.
It seems like she finally has a good fit. I feel like she's coming to her own, being with Raquel Rodriguez and now. Yeah. Now Liv Morgan. She's kind of playing a good protector role with them, and she's came up, beat up Stephanie. Doesn't look like they're having that match here, as according to January 27th, just a few days before the Rumble. That can obviously get changed at the last second. It's very WWE for them to put a world title match together the day right before it. So if it's Raquel Rodriguez, I'm going to have to go with you, Sol Roca. She's she also looks really good. She's very talented. She's definitely the next one up from NXT, so that's not a bad call.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be that. I think that element playing into that's who they're gonna get over, because they've done it before. It's like when Gunther was like semi new to the main roster, and he went and broke the record for the longest. I think Penta stayed in there the longest last year.
Yep.
I think they're going to do that with the women. The guys are going to try something different. I say the women, they're going to go for someone new to really show them off for like an hour.
Okay, next one up. What do you think your final 4 is for the Women's Royal Rumble?
Liv Morgan, Becky, because TKO loves Becky. Becky, Liv, someone young, but that doesn't win. It could be Sol Roca. It could be a call up. It could be somebody semi-new. And then Raquel. I think Raquel's a good one.
That might not be too bad. I think I'll probably agree with a couple of those. I like Rhea Ripley in there. She could probably be the foil to Liv Morgan. They have such a history together. Raquel would look good in there. Maybe someone young that would replace my Sol Roca would probably be. They seem like they absolutely love Lyra. I could see Lyra staying in there, being the final one, maybe like the underdog. That's just like which one is not like the other. Once you have her standing amongst the Raquels and the Rheas and the Liv Morgan, so you could probably have her in there. We talked about this before on text. Is this a comeback spot for Bianca Belair? What have you heard in your neck of the woods of how Bianca Belair's return is looking?
TBD, TBA, injuries that linger way longer than you think they should last. That's hers, but that could be one of those things. Screw it. Her, I think it's been cleared. Her hand's been jacked up. So that's her thing. But to come back for a Royal Rumble, win it, and then you can start really spacing out. You can do like, all right, I'll just do promos to really build this up for the next 2 months, like what Seth did. Seth won. His leg was jacked up. He's like, I might be able to come back, and he did. All he did was cut promos. Bianca do the same thing. To clip this, when you said Lyra's my second. It clicked to me. Lyra's my second for the Iron Woman. Book that.
Sure.
So if it's not someone young, after Unreal, seeing how sad she got after her match was just complete, like she knew it was bad. So me saying it wasn't good isn't shocking or being rude. She knew it was bad. They might be like, hey, let's go redeem her. Like she can go. She's athletic. Let's see if we can get her back on track. I think Rhea gets knocked out by Liv, and Liv has the maniacal laugh. Rhea's pissed, and that might lead to something, I say it's Liv knocking out Rhea because Rhea's usually in there towards the end. I'm going to say Liv gets Rhea out. Something like Bianca would definitely, she would be returning. Every time someone returns after injury, they're in there almost the longest, or they get there in the final four.
Yeah.
So Bianca's a really good one. Who else is injured that Becky and AJ are not, they're scheduled for WrestleMania. So let's exclude those two. I think it's been leaked out that they've been booked for WrestleMania. So definitely not Becky, definitely not AJ.
So it'd be interesting to see if AJ makes her. I think that's probably going to be one of the ones that we're looking forward to, is possibly hearing her music come out, just because she did make that appearance not too long ago. But I don't know where she fits in storyline wise. I guess the only person she'd have beef with is Becky Lynch. So if Becky Lynch is in this Royal Rumble, maybe she gets eliminated by her. I'm not necessarily sure. Another one, I guess I can kind of tie into my other question, because this is where, when we have Billy, he lays this out a little bit better. This is a Royal Rumble, so you're set for surprises, and this is the Saudis we're talking about. This is big money. They can bring in almost whoever is willing to do a deal with them just to show up. So whether it's someone outside of WWE, like outside of just in like other sports in general, or just someone that you haven't seen in a long time for a big return, who do you like as a big return, a big pop for the women's Royal Rumble match?
Dude, they've all came back, right? Like, what, Ronda Rousey? Like, is she the only one that's kind of like on the outside that hasn't done any sort of return yet? Trish has been back.
Trish or Lita,
they've been back. Like they've done that. I think they're kind of big return pop on that. Tori Wilson's done it. Trish has done it. Lita's done it. And if you're not one of those girls, you're still kind of wrestling, or you're in that like back end of the diva era. No one like Summer Rae, like I love her, but like that's not the big, wow, Summer Rae's back. Like who else? Like AJ Lee, came back. I don't know. It's someone from the Indies.
I think AJ Lee would be a big pop to come in and try to get it. And then you have Becky, who probably not in the match, but just comes to attack her anyways. And
she announced she's going to be in the match because Maxine,
did. Okay.
Yeah, Maxine wanted a title match. She's like, well, she's gonna have to wait because I'm gonna go into the Royal Rumble to go get the world title or something. So she announced that she's gonna be in it.
Okay, I do think AJ Lee's going to return then. If she's in the match, AJ Lee's going to return. We're going to have that close up tight on Becky's face once she finally hears like, oh God, I thought I was done with this person.
Yeah.
And then that might just sprawl out into chaos. AJ might not even care about winning the whole thing, but just eliminating herself and just beating each other to the back.
That's what's going to happen. The AJ costs, that's what I'm saying. Maybe they go to Final Four. Becky's like really thinking she's going to get it. AJ Lee didn't leave, pulls the rope down. Becky, goes over. What? You cost me my world title. And then that's going to lead into their 2-month storyline. But like AJ's been back for like 6 months off and on. So like who's like the big, probably Bianca, honestly. She'll tape up that finger and go. Because like who else is injured or retired that hasn't been back in a while?
Naomi, they haven't had her kid yet, has her? She's still pregnant, do you know? Or
Jimmy didn't go to Raw, but I think maybe soon. It could be soon. But she just had a kid. Like she's not going to come back. Like she might show up for Royal Rumble or international show. So she's out of it. Sasha Banks is like full blown committed to AEW. I don't know. I'd like it's going to be one of those years where like we don't have a legend.
Yeah.
Like Michelle McCool, like we've done that. Like I don't know who's left. That would be like, wow, a legend came back that we haven't seen, like when Trish or Lita, and they might just have to go with someone injured. Who's the biggest injured person right now? Bianca.
Yeah, and like you said, that seems TBD. They've been really quiet about it, but she's reached a star power in the women's where you kind of want to announce when she's coming back rather than just like, holy shit, there's Bianca, and you want to put her in you want to spotlight her majorly for WrestleMania. So
I don't even think there's anyone on the Indies or TNA that like when Joe Hendry came. So I don't know if that's going to be an option. Like when Jordan Grace came out of nowhere, and she was like the first TNA champion to show up, and it was a big freaking deal. Like I popped because I was like, damn, that's wild that you got the TNA world champion female one there. I don't know if they're going to do that. So let's go Bianca.
You
sold me. You sold me on Bianca.
I'll go Bianca with you. Who do you got for your winner?
So I've only heard vibes from like stuff. I think that's one of those things they're doing it last minute. I think they're pulling it. Hey, before you go out, we're flipping it. You're going over. So I honestly don't have any sort of like hardcore. Bro, you completely changed my mind about Bianca. Dude, now I can't get it out of my head. Like WWE loves injured people coming back and doing something. But the vibe I heard, and I'll stick to it, and it was complete vibe. There's no script to it. It's one of those years when just Nakamura wins it. Nakamura just wins it. I think it'll just be Liv and Rhea triple threat for a title or something. I'm going to say Liv. It's going to be one of those years. It's just a random ass person just gets it and they build it up afterwards.
Yeah, I'm going to say Liv too. She's never won it before, has she? I'm not necessarily.
I don't think so.
I know she came close a couple years ago when Cody won his second Royal Rumble. So I'm going to say Liv too. I think she had just came back just a couple months ago. They do good TV with her, and I mean, as politically, if you want to look at it, the Saudis. I've read a thing on this. They love like blonde women like that, your typical girl next door
Yeah.
look, because there's not a lot of women that look like that over there.
Yeah.
So they love the blonde hair, like short, petite, cute, just absolutely chicks just like Liv Morgan, the cheerleader looking type. They love that. They'll probably, and that's probably who's booking the show at this point because they're paying the money for it. So I like Liv Morgan in that spot.
Yeah, I think this is one of those years, Liv, and they'll just build a story up afterwards for her.
Yep, and you can go back to a lot of things. You can go Rhea Ripley. You can maybe do some dissension within the Judgment Day if Raquel likes it, or if Roxanne likes it. That could be a fun storyline in the future. And with Finn Balor going full heel character or whatever that he's doing, maybe they still run with the Judgment Day arc. I personally am kind of getting a little bit tired of it. When Dominic's not a part of it, it's kind of boring.
I think they were kind of hinting at that on Raw, and Finn leading it, and it might just become like a tag team. Like it might just be Liv and Roxanne, and it's just the girls, and Dom just goes and does his own thing. I think eventually they're going to kind of end it, and they just might name a tag team after it, and that's all it is.
So we both have Liv Morgan winning. We both have, or I have AJ, you have Bianca as the surprise, and then our final four kind of looks similar. Let's jump on over to the men's Royal Rumble. By the way, guys, thank you for listening. It's Austin, it's Chuckacious, it's the Baby Faces podcast on iHeartRadio, the official pro wrestling podcast of iHeartRadio Louisville, getting you ready for the WWE Royal Rumble, going to be broadcasted on ESPN live from Riyadh this Saturday at 2 p.m. So make sure you're not doing anything. If you're going to be here locally, come hang out with me. I'm going to be at the Kia store in Elizabethtown, 1401 North Dixie Highway. We're celebrating the brand new 2027 Kia Telluride, which is probably perfect for this kind of weather. It's like a snowplow. So come out there, win tickets with me, say what's up. We can talk about the Royal Rumble if you come see me out there in Elizabethtown.
Very nice.
We are going to the men's Royal Rumble match. Same thing here, Chuck. We'll start with your Iron Man of the men's Royal Rumble. I already have mine, and it's not even close.
You go first, because I do need to think about this. I need because, like I said, like they just threw it all together, and it's like, you go first.
It's going to be Obafemi. Obafemi is going to be the one that tears through everybody. He's going to have the big show spot where everyone they huddle up on him, 15 guys, and he does that. And he's going to be the one that everyone's trying to eliminate. But I think WWE loves him. They just put him in a match with Cody Rhodes at Saturday Night's Main Event just a couple months ago. They love how he is. It seems like they'll have a lot invested in him. He won the title at NXT. He vacated it there. Now he's going to come do some destruction on the main roster. I don't know if he makes the final four, but you're going to walk away from the Royal Rumble going, yeah, that guy's up next.
I say he eliminates the most, but he does not get the Iron Man.
Okay. I guess in this kind of in the same who's going to be the beast of the match.
I think he's going to do like a Brock Lesnar spot where he just chucks people over. They throws 4 guys over. He'll have a crazy number, but they'll probably keep him a little bit shorter to kind of like give you a taste of it and move on. The longest man, it's usually someone who they're usually not the biggest guys besides like Gunther. Dude, AJ has a match. Gunther's not in it. Pentagon already did it. Dude, who's in the mid card right now?
Maybe this is a Braun Breaker show out. I know maybe he's done it a couple years ago. This is probably Braun Breaker. He had a good showing last year.
Let's go. I was gonna say LA Knight, just cause give him something. Let's go, Braun Breaker.
Okay.
Let's like you said, had a great showing to keep his dominance going. Let's give him like the longest run because he can go. They're usually smaller guys like Daniel Bryan and all of them and Pentagon. He's not that small, but he's super, super, super athletic. So I'm gonna say Braun Breaker.
Likes that. I like Braun Breaker, but Yeah, I think he's probably going to go the longest. I'll also go ahead and spoil it. I'll have Braun Breaker in my final four. I think Oba gets the most eliminations. Braun Breaker is probably going to go the distance, prove that he belongs. And you've had the year that he's had with joining Paul Heyman. It's best to kind of keep his momentum going up. Let me just start with my final four. I think it's probably we're going to talk about this guy for a second before we get out of here. But Roman Reigns, of course, is definitely going to find himself in there. I think he's actually the favorite on some betting sources too. I like Braun Breaker to be in there. I also like Jey Uso to kind of have that tease of winning back-to-back years. Is going to be in there with a guy that he's feuded with and a guy that, he's went to war with his cousin. And I definitely think this is going to be a LA Knight. I got something for LA Knight. Look, I love him. I think, as you alluded to the Lyra thing with Unreal earlier, the thing about LA Knight is I think this is their way of still telling the fans, like, we still like him, but we're not going to do anything with him.
Exactly. So, yeah.
He's, with the way that he's kind of been screwed over, he's going to still remain a presence. He's going to be there. But I think he's probably the first one out of those four.
Yeah. It's like they'll give him his rub. Like I said, maybe they'll make him go the distance, final four, but he's the first one to go out. So we're on final four right now.
Yep.
So one of my final four is also going to be my big entrance person. The one like whoa moment, the WTF moment. But I'll build up to that. I'm going to say Roman is back to being Roman, to where just he's automatically going to be in a main event. He's automatically going to win this. So Roman. Roman, Braun Breaker. Dude, I hate to steal your thing. It might be LA Knight.
Add another member in there, maybe Logan Paul. I feel like he has to do something going into WrestleMania.
I think Logan Paul was in last year's Final Four, so they're going to spare it.
That's true.
If they want to get someone over, Austin Theory's another guy who can go, and that would probably help him out a lot. If he could be an Iron Man and really go and put a show, because dude, I hated Daniel Bryan. But when they did the greatest Royal Rumble and he was in for like an hour and a half, I was like, dude, you're freaking rule. That was awesome to watch. I hate you, but that was sick. So they can do wonders. And I'm gonna say Austin Theory could, so that'll be like my second. But the final four for me is Roman, LA Knight, Braun Breaker, and Chris Jericho.
Oh, wow.
And Chris Jericho is going to be the number 30.
Oh, wow. So is that your big surprise?
That's my big surprise is Chris Jericho, number 30.
Okay, yeah.
And
I think that's good.
And I'm going to double down. And everyone's going to know it's him, because when the timer starts ticking down, it's going to be Y2J numbers. And he's going to come out. It's going to tick down like Y2J Millennium. Don't know what song it'll be. I would hate if it's Judas, because that's AEW. Yeah. But that's number 30. And just because he's just like whatever, he's at the very end. I think he's just like based on the amount of time left in the match, he's going to be the last four.
Interesting. I kind of forgot about Chris Jericho. That's a huge one. A couple that I'm going to look out for that probably aren't going to do shit in the match, but that's just going to be there for a pop. I think this is a spot where Pat McAfee probably comes back, enters himself in the match somehow.
Dude, I'm going to throw my shoe at the TV if that happens again, because that pissed me off so much, because last year was like, I hate to cut you off. I was like, dude, we're running out of time. We're running out of spots. We're running out of like new people showing up or legends showing up. We're running out. And it's like, ding, ding, ding. Oh, Pat McAfee's in. He steps in the ring. Oh, Gunther, I don't want any of you. And jumps out and completely wasted a spot.
Yeah.
I hated that.
Yeah. Yeah. That was, so they got to enter. I mean, college football's over with. So he's going to eventually find himself back in at the commentary desk. You're probably going to see one of those streamers. I think it's probably most likely an iShow Speed again. which I don't mind. Which I don't mind him. He seems to take everything very seriously. He's been training.
Yeah.
He's been training. Maybe Kai Cenat. They do
Yeah.
that stuff. But yeah, this is, I don't know. Do we see with the Saudis and TKO and them trying to go outside the box? Do we see like like this year's version of like a Shaq, like an outsider coming in? I don't know, like Lamar Jackson. Some other outside of wrestling star that would come there, Ronaldo or like
something like that. I think I wouldn't say it's like a giant, surprise entrance, but yeah, definitely one of them's going to be an influencer.
Chris Van Vliet.
Yeah. The way things are going. Yeah. But, yeah, you like, I wouldn't say it's a big surprise, but yeah, it could be an influencer or a celebrity, an actor, whatever. It's Jason Statham. It's Liam Hemsworth. I don't know, but, yeah, maybe, I don't know, but I think mine's right.
And last but not least, who do you got winning the men's Royal Rumble, Chuck?
Roman.
You got Roman?
I'd be shocked if it's not Roman.
So it's Roman. Does he go after Drew or does he go after Punk or how does think that?
I don't know. Like, they're both probably going to keep their titles until WrestleMania. I told you I was so pumped for AJ that the idea of him and Punk going at it. Do I want to see Roman versus Punk? And maybe. Do I want to see Roman versus Drew? Like two Titans? If they do it like that, like when they did it with Brock Lesnar, where it was just like two monsters going at it, I would probably rather that. But I'm like, we're starting from nothing. Like there's no Roman Drew history really. So they would have to build a whole storyline out of 2 months. But I wouldn't mind that. But it's one of those things. Yeah, it's just gonna be Roman.
And then we got to find a way for Brock Lesnar to fit in the Royal Rumble, you would think. I think it's going to be Roman. I think he goes after Punk. I think that they're going to make that title mean a damn again. Not that CM Punk hasn't done anything with it. I like CM Punk, but it just means so much more on the shoulders of the tribal chief. And that's just me being a Roman mark. Roman will always be my number one.
Is that match just like I've told you before? Two people that just can make money for the business, and we're just going to put that match on.
Yep, and there's a history with him saying that title would look good on me, and they were like, "Which one do you mean?" And him,
you're not wrong.
Paul Heyman thing, and when he stopped him from leaving the Elimination Chamber, which was at the time one of WWE's most viewed and liked videos ever. So they're going to find a way to capitalize.
You're right. The War Games thing where they're going back and forth at it. You're right. They could do something with that. Drew could also add that kind of. If it is Drew, who's heel, who's face?
That's a good question. I mean, Roman's been obviously a face ever since losing the title and returning and taking out Solo and everything. But he's always relied on. He's still a power hungry guy. It's not like he's changed ever since losing his title. He wants to get back there. So now that would be interesting. And come on, Chuck, babyface and heels don't mean damn anymore. So
I was going to say, I was like, it most likely would just be gray area versus gray area.
Yep.
Tweener versus tweener or whatever. Yeah.
Yep. Well, you heard it all here. I got to run to go get to my show right now. And you heard that. So you have Royal Rumble winner for the men's going to WrestleMania. The tribal chief Roman Reigns going to be standing tall in Saudi Arabia. Mark it here. You heard it on the baby faces. Yep. Chuck, it was good talking to you. Where can fans find you out and see all your work at?
As always, they can find me at Instagram at Chuckacious. You can see it right there, baby. Just like at Chuckacious.
Not Chuckalicious as much as delicious as he looks.
Exactly. They're trying to do the people on creatives trying to get me to switch to that. And I was like, dude, this has been going on for like 20 years. I can't switch it now.
Well, when you shave your beard and you go heel, you'll be Chuckalicious.
Yeah, yeah. Let me thin out a little bit. I got a little gobbler down here.
There you go. Yeah, me too. That's why I hide this. So you'll never
Yeah,
see
dude.
my
That
beard.
saves us. That makes us look way more hunky.
1000%, dude. Well, all right, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Make sure to download, check us out if you're watching on the YouTube. Hit the like and subscribe button. We're going to have a lot of fun stuff coming up. You can find this episode on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your podcast. Thanks for listening to the Baby Faces. We will see you guys after the Royal Rumble.